Wait, I kind of want to watch this video. Hold on. Throne and Liberty drops gacha system for battle pass and subscriptions. Bro, if this game has a sub, no one's paying for that.
Hello everyone and welcome to another Throne and Liberty video. My name's Brian if you happen to be new to the channel, but if you're part of this incredible 75,122 of y'all who've hit that subscribe button and have taken a chance on the content, welcome in and welcome back. Today we have some interesting,
Doesn't this guy play Final Fantasy Ginger Prime? He used to. All right, anyway.
Is reporting that NCSoft is apparently not going to be implementing a gacha monetization system within Throne and Liberty, instead rather leaning in on battle passes, and the key word here is subscriptions. Now I'm going to include a link to the article in the description of this video if you guys want to go read it for yourself, but we're going to go through the post here, we're going to break it down, and we're going to talk about what I now expect based off this article alone, and we're asking the question, which you guys can weigh in on if you want, is like, is this a positive influence from Amazon, or do you feel like the winds of change were already happening in South Korea? There's no wrong answers. I'm always game for the discussion.
Subscriptions.
So you guys will sound off below. But let's go ahead and spend a little time. Thank you, Matthew, for writing this up. And this was just posted today. Again, link is in the description. Go give it some time. NCSoft is reportedly making a significant shift away from the gacha monetization system in Throne and Liberty. Now, this way that it's worded right now makes me think that that was kind of always the plan. Now, we know that Blue Protocol's got a gacha system, and that can be a positive or a negative. And anybody who does not like gacha systems are probably confused by the fact that I've said positive, but there is a demand for that system. There is, that aspect where I'm saying, like, probably some gamblers out there, like they crave these kind of games, and the money and the numbers do reflect that. But I don't think necessarily popular opinion is focusing in around that gachas are a net positive. Personally speaking, I try to, like, as an adult, not engage in those kind of systems monetarily, but support the systems that I do like. Like, for example, a battle pass that doesn't expire, aka Wayfinder and Halo Infinite. So those are the things where.
So if Amazon's not gonna do gacha, then they definitely have something against doing gacha. Because I was gonna say, like, they definitely just, for some reason, don't want to seep into the gacha stuff. I feel like gacha cosmetics are kind of whatever, but subscriptions and battle passes, huh? I don't know, man. I feel like subscriptions are not gonna make it's kind of weird to sub to a game like this, I feel like.
When it comes down to it, we're all voting with our dollars, and if you guys like specific systems, I would encourage you to support those systems because the data gets analyzed, and I think, and hopefully, especially as we've seen more and more,
I feel like subs are only reserved for games that have a big following already. I don't know.
Happen, and we're seeing game developers take note and maybe changing their plans. But well, let's go ahead and continue
maybe
on.
It's like,
now, according to the Korean news site Money Today,
Black
it's
Desert
been revealed
subs.
that instead of relying on probability-based items like loot boxes, the developer plans to monetize the MMO through battle passes and subscriptions. This approach allows players to earn desired items by reaching specific milestones during the subscription and battle pass periods, marking a departure from NCSoft's previous monetization strategies. Now, when it comes down to the subscription, here's the questions that I have immediately. Is this going to be a required subscription or an optional subscription? Meaning, can you still play the game? It's a free-to-play game. That's how they've marketed.
When I played the game, it did have a battle pass, but there was like a bunch of like pay-to-win stuff in the game. I don't know. I wonder what their plan is. I mean, there are only sub-MMOs. I mean, there are only sub-MMOs that work. Well, I feel like Final Fantasy works as a sub-MMO because it's got a big IP and people like Final Fantasy. And I feel like WoW. But I feel like for a game like Throne and Liberty, I don't think that many people would be open to subscribing to the game. Like, I don't think it works for like a brand. I don't know how to describe it. There's not like a big IP. It's just like a random game, right?
Throne and Liberty so far, and so I would assume.
But I feel like the game's also going to have pay to win. Yeah,
that most likely players are, the hardcore of hardcore players are going to want to opt in.
That's probably true.
Where we see similar things like that in ESO,
yeah,
and other online
it might be like an
games
optional
sub. It isn't the barrier for entry, but it is almost kind of a barrier for the hardcore of entries that exist. And at the end of the day, these companies make these games to make money. And I think, and my concern is especially with the free-to-play and no monthly reoccurring additions, you end up seeing cash shop items overpriced and overpushed, and like that
It's
ends
gonna
up
be
being
pay
kind
to
of
win.
the
That game's
cost to us as the
100% gonna be
players.
pay
I've
to
always
win.
argued
So
that the subscription-based model is the most fair to the developers and the players, but we've continued to see even the subscription-based games like Final Fantasy 14 and WoW push more into the cash shop, because I think they realize
it's not.
there's
It will
definitely
100% be
whales
pay to
out
win,
there
bro.
willing to drop a huge amount of support on a particular item or piece of gear or something like that.
It'll definitely be pay to
They
win.
go on. Apparently, the decision was driven by the increased scrutiny and regulations around the gacha mechanics, as well as player dissatisfaction with such practices. In fact, in the recent Throne and Liberty closed beta test, draw items were removed and players were given the opportunity to preview the season pass with cosmetic rewards that have very little impact on gameplay. The response from players was overwhelmingly positive. Players voice your thoughts. Like, this is where I want to always champion people being able to speak out, because sometimes it takes a lot of effort, a lot of energy to turn the tide of popular opinion, or if nothing else, when you're going up against massive amounts of dollars. That
When I
is,
played this,
I think the opinion can easily
the
get
whole game had
construed by the developers and especially.
there's a lot of pay to win systems like intertwined with the game. A lot. There's no way they can fix all of that. You could literally just buy gear from the auction house with money. You could get cash shop currency by playing the game, though. The whole game's gonna be pay to win.
Really, more or less, the publishers in this case. Now we'll see what happens. Obviously, the biggest news to come is
Till
this
next
week,
year, Jay.
November 2nd, is that's kind of where they're going to have their launch showcase, where we're going to learn more about the upcoming Korean release, and most likely afterwards, we're going to start hearing more about the next tests as well as the global edition. I've seen people comment like, "Is this game coming to EU?" Yes. Amazon's the publisher of Throne and Liberty. For the global version, they're going to be handling it in Japan, Europe, America. And so that is going to be something that we'll have to be covering here in the near future. Now, anyway, it goes on to say, during which more details will be revealed about the Korean version of the game.
Dude, this guy made a 7-minute video about 2 and like 7 sentences. How the fuck did he do that? This is literally a 7-sentence article, like 1, 2. He made a 7-minute video. How the fuck did he do that?